Have you ever felt a gnawing emptiness, even when surrounded by others? That persistent ache of loneliness that whispers you're not enough on your own? It's a feeling that countless people grapple with daily, believing that happiness can only be found in the company of others. But what if I told you that true contentment and fulfillment lie not in chasing relationships or constant companionship, but in learning to be genuinely happy alone? This might sound counterintuitive, perhaps even impossible. After all, humans are social creatures wired for connection. Yet, in our quest for external validation and companionship, we often lose sight of the most important relationship of all, the one we have with ourselves. Think about it. How many times have you compromised your values or ignored your own needs just to avoid being alone? How often have you stayed in unfulfilling relationships, fearing the alternative of solitude? These choices, while seemingly protective, often leave us feeling more hollow and disconnected than ever. But here's the truth. Being alone doesn't have to equal loneliness. In fact, mastering the art of solitude can be the key to unlocking a deeper, more authentic sense of happiness and self-fulfillment. It's about rediscovering who you are at your core, free from the influences and expectations of others. It's about building a life that's rich and meaningful, whether you're in a relationship or not. Now, you might be thinking, that sounds great, but how do I actually do it? How do I silence that voice that equates being alone with being unwanted or unloved? These are valid questions, and they're exactly what we're going to explore together. Throughout this audiobook, we'll unravel the complex emotions surrounding solitude and loneliness. We'll challenge the societal norms that often make us feel inadequate if we're not constantly surrounded by others. More importantly, we'll discover practical strategies to not just tolerate being alone, but to truly thrive in our own company. This journey isn't about isolating yourself or shunning relationships altogether. Rather, it's about building a strong foundation of self-love and inner peace that allows you to approach all aspects of life, including relationships, from a place of wholeness rather than need. You'll learn how to cultivate self-compassion, embracing your quirks and imperfections as part of what makes you uniquely you. We'll explore mindfulness techniques that ground you in the present moment, helping you find joy in simple solitary activities. You'll discover how to set healthy boundaries, both with others and with your own negative self-talk. As we progress, you'll start to see solitude not as something to be feared, but as a precious gift, an opportunity for growth, creativity, and self-discovery. You'll learn to savor those quiet moments of reflection, using them to gain clarity on your goals and values. But make no mistake, this journey isn't always easy. There will be moments of discomfort as you confront long-held beliefs about your self-worth and happiness. You might feel resistance as you start to prioritize your own needs and desires. This is all part of the process, and we'll tackle these challenges head-on, equipping you with the tools to push through and emerge stronger on the other side. By the end of our time together, you'll have a new perspective on what it means to be alone. You'll no longer view solitude as a state to be endured, but as a powerful tool for personal growth and fulfillment. You'll have the confidence to pursue your passions, make decisions aligned with your values, and cultivate meaningful relationships, all from a place of self-assured independence. So, are you ready to embark on this transformative journey? Are you prepared to challenge your perceptions, face your fears, and discover the incredible strength and joy that lie within you? If so, take a deep breath and open your mind. It's time to let go of the need for constant external validation and learn the beautiful art of being happy alone. Remember, this isn't about closing yourself off from the world. It's about opening yourself up to the vast potential within you. It's about building a life so full and rich that whether you're in a crowded room or enjoying a solitary evening at home, you feel complete, content, and truly alive. As we move forward, we'll start by examining the root causes of our fear of being alone. We'll look at how societal expectations and past experiences shape our perceptions of solitude, often in ways we're not even aware of. Understanding these influences is the first step in breaking free from them, allowing us to rewrite our internal narrative about what it means to be alone. We'll then explore the concept of self-compassion, learning how to treat ourselves with the same kindness and understanding we so readily offer to others. This foundational skill will serve as a cornerstone for building a positive relationship with yourself, one that can weather any storm of loneliness or self-doubt. From there, we'll delve into practical strategies for embracing and enjoying solitude. You'll discover how to turn everyday moments of alone time into opportunities for growth, relaxation, and self-discovery. Whether it's through creative pursuits, mindfulness practices, or simply learning to enjoy your own company, you'll develop a toolkit for making the most of your time alone. We'll also address the challenge of maintaining your newfound independence in a world that often seems to prioritize coupling up. You'll learn how to navigate social pressures, communicate your needs effectively, and build a support network that respects and encourages your journey of self-discovery. Throughout this process, remember that you're not alone in your desire for genuine happiness and fulfillment. Countless others have walked this path before you, transforming their relationship with solitude and, in turn, with every other aspect of their lives. Their stories will inspire and guide us, offering proof that it's not only possible to be happy alone, but that doing so can lead to a more authentic and satisfying life overall. So as we stand at the threshold of this journey, I invite you to approach it with an open heart and mind. Be willing to question long-held beliefs, to sit with uncomfortable emotions, and to celebrate every small victory along the way. The path to true happiness and self-fulfillment isn't always smooth, but I promise you, it's worth every step. Are you ready to rediscover yourself, to unlock the joy and potential that have always been within you? Are you prepared to let go of the fear and embrace the freedom that comes with true self-acceptance? If so, then let's begin. Your journey to happiness, real, lasting, independent happiness, starts now. As we begin to peel back the layers of our relationship with solitude, it's crucial to understand the root of our discomfort with being alone. Loneliness and the fear of being alone are complex emotions, often intertwined with our deepest insecurities and societal expectations. But why do we feel this way? What drives this almost primal fear of solitude? At its core, our aversion to being alone stems from our evolutionary past. As a species, humans have survived and thrived through cooperation and community. Our ancestors relied on group living for protection, food gathering, and child rearing. This ingrained need for social connection has been hardwired into our brains over millennia. It's no wonder, then, that being alone can trigger feelings of vulnerability and unease. But in our modern world, this evolutionary trait can sometimes work against us. We live in a society that often equates being alone with being unloved, unwanted, or somehow deficient. From a young age, we're bombarded with messages that reinforce the idea that happiness is found in romantic partnerships, large friend groups, or constant social interaction. Movies, books, and social media perpetuate the notion that a life well lived is one filled with people at every turn. These societal pressures can lead us to view solitude as a problem to be solved rather than a natural and potentially enriching part of life. We start to believe that if we're alone, it must mean there's something wrong with us. This belief can trigger a cycle of negative self-talk and anxiety, further reinforcing our fear of being alone. Moreover, our fast-paced, hyper-connected world has made it increasingly difficult to find true solitude. With smartphones in our pockets and social media at our fingertips, we're rarely truly alone. This constant connection can make moments of genuine solitude feel alien and uncomfortable. We've forgotten how to be with ourselves, how to sit with our own thoughts without the distraction of endless scrolling or the validation of likes and comments. But here's the thing. Loneliness and being alone are not the same. Loneliness is an emotional state, a feeling of disconnection that can occur even when surrounded by others. Being alone, on the other hand, is simply a physical state of not being with other people. It's entirely possible to be alone without feeling lonely, just as it's possible to feel profoundly lonely in a crowded room. Understanding this distinction is crucial as we work to reframe our relationship with solitude. It's not the state of being alone that causes suffering, but rather our interpretation of what it means to be alone. By challenging these interpretations, we can begin to see solitude not as a punishment or a sign of failure, but as an opportunity for growth and self-discovery. Think back to a time when you were alone but didn't feel lonely. Perhaps it was during a peaceful walk in nature or while engrossed in a favorite hobby. In these moments, you weren't focused on your aloneness. You were simply present, engaged in the experience. This is the state we're aiming to cultivate more consistently in our lives. Of course, recognizing the difference between loneliness and solitude is just the first step. Many of us have developed deep-seated fears and anxieties around being alone, often rooted in past experiences or childhood traumas. These fears can manifest in various ways, constantly seeking validation from others, staying in unfulfilling relationships, or filling every moment with activity to avoid being alone with our thoughts. To truly overcome these fears, we need to confront them head-on. This means examining the beliefs we hold about being alone and challenging their validity. For instance, if you believe that being alone means you're unlovable, ask yourself where this belief came from. Is it based on fact, or is it an assumption you've never questioned? As you begin to interrogate these beliefs, you might find that many of them don't hold up under scrutiny. Perhaps you'll realize that your worth isn't determined by your relationship status or the size of your social circle. Maybe you'll discover that the quiet moments alone are when you feel most in tune with your true self. This process of self-examination can be uncomfortable at times. It might bring up painful memories or force you to confront aspects of yourself you've long ignored. But it's through this discomfort that real growth occurs. By facing your fears of being alone, you rob them of their power over you. Remember, the goal isn't to eliminate all feelings of loneliness or to never desire companionship. These are natural human emotions and needs. Instead, we're working towards a state where being alone doesn't trigger panic or despair. We're aiming for a place where solitude is viewed as a choice, one that can be embraced or declined based on your genuine desires rather than fear. As we continue on this journey, it's important to be patient and kind with yourself. Changing deeply ingrained thought patterns and emotional responses takes time. There will be setbacks along the way, moments when the old fears resurface or when loneliness feels overwhelming. This is normal and doesn't negate the progress you're making. One powerful tool in this process is mindfulness. the practice of being fully present in the moment without judgment. By cultivating mindfulness, you can learn to observe your thoughts and emotions around being alone without getting caught up in them. You might notice, for example, that feelings of loneliness often pass if you don't immediately react to them. Try this. The next time you find yourself alone and feeling anxious about it, take a few deep breaths. Notice the physical sensations in your body. Are your muscles tense? Is your heart racing? Now turn your attention to your thoughts. What are you telling yourself about being alone? Try to observe these thoughts without judging them or trying to change them. Just let them be, like clouds passing in the sky. This simple exercise can help create some distance between you and your fears, allowing you to see them more objectively. Over time, you may find that the intensity of these fears diminishes as you learn to sit with them rather than fighting against them. Another crucial aspect of overcoming the fear of being alone is building a strong sense of self. Many of us have become so accustomed to defining ourselves in relation to others that we've lost touch with who we are as individuals. We may struggle to make decisions or form opinions without input from others. We might feel lost or directionless when we're not in a relationship or part of a group. Reconnecting with yourself is a vital part of learning to be happy alone. This means taking the time to explore your own interests, values, and desires, not those imposed by society or the people around you. What activities bring you joy? What are your core values? What kind of life do you want to create for yourself, independent of anyone else's expectations? As you start to answer these questions, you'll begin to develop a stronger sense of self. This self-awareness becomes an anchor, providing stability and comfort even in moments of solitude. When you know who you are and what you stand for, being alone becomes less frightening. Instead, it becomes an opportunity to honor and express your authentic self. This journey of self-discovery is ongoing. As you grow and change, your relationship with solitude will evolve too. The key is to remain curious and open to the process. Each moment alone becomes a chance to learn something new about yourself, to deepen your self-understanding and self-acceptance. As we move forward, we'll explore practical strategies for embracing solitude and finding joy in your own company. We'll look at ways to cultivate self-compassion, build resilience, and create a life that feels fulfilling whether you're in a relationship or on your own. Remember, the goal isn't to isolate yourself or to never seek companionship. Rather, it's to reach a place where your happiness and sense of self aren't dependent on others. You're embarking on a powerful journey of self-discovery and growth. By facing your fears of being alone and challenging the beliefs that underlie them, you're taking the first steps towards true independence and self-fulfillment. It's a path that requires courage and perseverance, but the rewards, a deeper connection with yourself, greater emotional resilience, and the ability to find happiness in any circumstance, are immeasurable. As we transition into exploring practical strategies for embracing solitude, remember that this is a gradual process. Each small step you take, each moment you choose to sit with your discomfort rather than run from it, is a victory. You're not just learning to be alone, you're learning to be fully, authentically you, and that is a beautiful thing. Now that we've examined the roots of our discomfort with solitude, it's time to shift our focus to the transformative journey of self-discovery and inner peace. This path is not just about tolerating being alone. It's about flourishing in your own company, uncovering the depths of your potential, and cultivating a sense of wholeness that radiates from within. The journey to self-discovery begins with a simple yet profound question. Who are you when no one else is around. Strip away the roles you play, the expectations you try to meet, the persona you present to the world. What remains? This core self, your authentic being, is what we're seeking to uncover and nurture. Many of us have spent years, perhaps even decades, defining ourselves primarily through our relationships with others. We're someone's partner, child, parent, friend, or colleague. While these connections are important, they shouldn't be the sole source of our identity. True self-discovery involves peeling back these layers to reveal the unique individual beneath. Start by taking stock of your values, interests, and passions. What matters most to you? What activities make you lose track of time? What issues ignite a fire within you? These questions might seem simple, but answering them honestly can be surprisingly challenging. We're often so caught up in the daily grind or so focused on meeting others' expectations that we lose touch with our own desires and convictions. Try this exercise. Set aside some quiet time with a journal. Write down your answers to these questions without censoring yourself. Don't worry about what anyone else might think. This is for your eyes only. Be honest, even if your answers surprise you. You might discover passions you've long ignored or values that have been overshadowed by the demands of daily life. As you engage in this self-exploration, you may encounter resistance. Old beliefs about who you should be or what you should want might surface. You might hear echoes of others' expectations or societal norms. Acknowledge these thoughts, but don't let them derail you. Remember, this journey is about uncovering your authentic self, not conforming to external standards. Self-discovery isn't a destination. It's an ongoing process. As you grow and change, your understanding of yourself will evolve too. Embrace this fluidity. Allow yourself the freedom to explore new interests, to change your mind, to redefine what matters to you. This flexibility is a sign of growth, not inconsistency. An essential companion on this journey is self-compassion. As you delve deeper into self-discovery, you'll likely encounter aspects of yourself that you're not entirely comfortable with. Perhaps you'll uncover old wounds, confront difficult truths, or recognize patterns of behavior that no longer serve you. It's crucial to approach these revelations with kindness and understanding. Self-compassion involves treating yourself with the same kindness and understanding you'd offer a good friend. It means acknowledging your imperfections and struggles without harsh judgment. When you make a mistake or face a setback, self-compassion allows you to respond with gentle encouragement rather than harsh criticism. Cultivating self-compassion takes practice, especially if you're used to being your own harshest critic. Start by noticing your self-talk. When you're alone, what's the tone of your inner dialogue? Is it kind and supportive, or critical and dismissive? If you find that your self-talk is often negative, consciously work on shifting it. Challenge those critical thoughts. Would you speak to a loved one that way? If not, why speak to yourself like that? Another powerful practice for fostering self-compassion is mindfulness. Mindfulness involves being fully present in the moment, observing your thoughts and feelings without judgment. By cultivating mindfulness, you create space between your experiences and your reactions to them. This space allows you to respond to challenges with greater clarity and compassion. Try incorporating short mindfulness exercises into your daily routine. Even just a few minutes of focused breathing or body scanning can help center you and increase your self-awareness. As you become more attuned to your inner experiences, you'll be better equipped to respond to them with kindness and understanding. As self-discovery and self-compassion take root, you'll likely find that your relationship with solitude begins to shift. Those quiet moments alone become opportunities for reflection and growth rather than sources of anxiety. You might start to look forward to time by yourself, seeing it as a chance to reconnect with your authentic self and recharge your emotional batteries. This evolving relationship with solitude is a cornerstone of inner peace. Inner peace isn't about eliminating all negative emotions or achieving a constant state of bliss. Rather, it's about finding a sense of calm and contentment that persists even in the face of life's challenges. It's about being at ease with yourself, comfortable in your own skin, regardless of your external circumstances. Cultivating inner peace involves developing a strong internal locus of control. This means recognizing that while you can't control everything that happens to you, you can control your responses to those events. It's about taking responsibility for your own happiness and well-being rather than relying on others or external circumstances to fulfill you. One powerful way to strengthen your internal locus of control is through the practice of gratitude. Regularly acknowledging the good in your life, no matter how small, can shift your focus from what you lack to what you have. This doesn't mean ignoring difficulties or pretending everything is perfect. Instead, it's about cultivating an appreciation for the positive aspects of your life, even amidst challenges. Try starting a gratitude journal. Each day, write down 3 things you're grateful for. They don't have to be big things: a warm cup of coffee, a kind word from a stranger, a moment of beauty in nature. The act of consciously recognizing these positives can gradually reshape your perspective, fostering a sense of abundance and contentment. Another crucial aspect of cultivating inner peace is learning to sit with uncomfortable emotions. Many of us have been conditioned to view negative emotions as problems to be solved or eliminated. We distract ourselves, numb ourselves, or seek external validation to avoid feeling sad, angry, or anxious. But true inner peace comes from acknowledging and accepting the full spectrum of human emotions. The next time you're alone and a difficult emotion arises, resist the urge to immediately distract yourself. Instead, try to observe the emotion with curiosity. Where do you feel it in your body? What thoughts accompany it? Can you allow it to be present without trying to change or fix it? This practice of emotional acceptance can be challenging at first, but over time it leads to greater emotional resilience and a deeper sense of inner calm. As you progress on this journey of self-discovery and inner peace, you may find that your relationships with others begin to shift as well. When you're no longer dependent on others for your sense of self-worth or happiness, you're free to engage in relationships from a place of authenticity and choice rather than need or fear. You might find yourself naturally setting healthier boundaries, both with yourself and others. You'll likely become more discerning about how you spend your time and energy, choosing to invest in relationships and activities that align with your values and support your growth. This doesn't mean becoming selfish or isolated. On the contrary, by cultivating a strong sense of self and inner peace, you're better equipped to form deep, meaningful connections with others. Remember, this journey isn't about achieving perfection. There will be days when self-doubt creeps in, when being alone feels challenging, when inner peace seems elusive. These moments aren't failures. They're opportunities for growth and self-compassion. Each time you choose to stay present with yourself rather than seek external distraction or validation, you're strengthening your capacity for self-reliance and contentment. As we move forward, we'll explore specific strategies and practices to help you embrace solitude and find joy in your own company. These tools will build on the foundation of self-discovery and inner peace we've been discussing, providing practical ways to integrate these concepts into your daily life. The path you're on is transformative. By embarking on this journey of self-discovery and inner peace, you're not just learning to be comfortable alone. You're unlocking your potential to live a rich, fulfilling life on your own terms. You're cultivating the kind of deep, unwavering self-love and acceptance that allows you to show up fully in all areas of your life. As we transition into exploring practical strategies for thriving in solitude, carry with you the understanding that you are inherently worthy and complete. Your journey of self-discovery has no endpoint. It's a lifelong adventure of growth and evolution. Embrace it with curiosity, compassion, and an open heart. The more you come to know and accept yourself, the more you'll find that being alone isn't just tolerable. It's genuinely enjoyable and deeply fulfilling. Remember, the goal isn't to eliminate your desire for connection or to isolate yourself from others. It's to reach a place where your happiness and sense of self are rooted so deeply within you that they remain steady regardless of your external circumstances. From this foundation of self-discovery and inner peace, you're poised to create a life of authentic joy and purpose, whether you're in the company of others or savoring the richness of your own company. Armed with a deeper understanding of yourself and a growing sense of inner peace, you're now ready to explore practical strategies for embracing solitude. These techniques will help you transform moments of alone time into opportunities for growth, creativity, and genuine enjoyment. Remember, the goal isn't just to tolerate being alone, but to truly thrive in your own company. One powerful approach to embracing solitude is through the cultivation of meaningful solo activities. These are pursuits that engage your mind, challenge you, or bring you joy, all without the need for external company. The key is to find activities that resonate with your authentic self, the core of who you are that we've been working to uncover. Start by revisiting the interests and passions you identified during your self-discovery process. Which of these can be explored or practiced on your own? Perhaps you've always been curious about painting but never made the time. Or maybe you love to read but have been stuck in a rut with your book choices. Now is the perfect time to dive into these interests with renewed enthusiasm. For those who enjoy physical activity, solo exercise can be a fantastic way to embrace solitude while also benefiting your health. This could be anything from yoga in your living room to long walks in nature, from dance sessions in front of your mirror to challenging yourself with new workout routines. The act of moving your body not only provides a healthy distraction from feelings of loneliness, but also releases endorphins that boost your mood. If you're more intellectually inclined, consider setting personal learning goals. Is there a subject you've always wanted to study? A skill you'd like to master? The internet offers a wealth of resources for self-directed learning, from online courses to educational podcasts. Dedicate time each day or week to pursuing this knowledge. The process of learning and growing on your own can be incredibly fulfilling and empowering. Creative pursuits are another excellent way to embrace solitude. Writing, drawing, crafting, making music. These activities not only occupy your time, but also provide an outlet for self-expression. Don't worry about being good at your chosen creative endeavor. The goal is to enjoy the process and allow yourself the freedom to explore and experiment without judgment. For those who find comfort in structure, creating daily rituals can be a powerful tool for embracing solitude. These don't have to be elaborate or time-consuming. It could be as simple as starting each morning with a cup of tea and 10 minutes of meditation, or ending each day by writing in a gratitude journal. These rituals provide anchors in your day, moments of mindfulness that help you connect with yourself and find peace in being alone. Speaking of mindfulness, incorporating regular meditation or mindfulness practices into your routine can significantly enhance your ability to enjoy solitude. These practices train your mind to be present, reducing the tendency to dwell on past regrets or future anxieties when you're alone. Start small. Even 5 minutes a day can make a difference. As you become more comfortable, you can gradually increase the duration of your practice. Another strategy for embracing solitude is to reframe your alone time as self-care time. Too often, we view self-care as an indulgence or something we only do when we're stressed. But regular, intentional self-care is crucial for maintaining emotional well-being, especially when you're learning to be happy alone. Self-care can take many forms. It might be physical, like taking a long, relaxing bath or preparing a nourishing meal for yourself. It could be emotional, like allowing yourself to cry while watching a moving film or laughing out loud at a comedy special. It might be spiritual, like spending time in nature or engaging in prayer or reflection. The important thing is that it feels nurturing and rejuvenating to you. Remember, treating yourself with kindness and care when you're alone sets a powerful precedent. It reinforces the idea that you are worthy of love and attention, especially when, that love and attention come from yourself. As you become more comfortable with solitude, you might want to challenge yourself with solo adventures. This could be as simple as trying a new restaurant on your own, or as bold as taking a solo trip. These experiences push you out of your comfort zone and prove to yourself that you can navigate the world independently. When embarking on solo adventures, start small and gradually build up to more challenging experiences. Maybe begin by seeing a movie alone, then work up to dining solo at a restaurant. As your confidence grows, you might find yourself planning weekend getaways or even extended travel on your own. These solo experiences often lead to unexpected discoveries, both about the world and about yourself. You might find that you're more observant when you're alone, noticing details you'd miss when distracted by company. You might strike up conversations with strangers, broadening your perspective. Or you might simply revel in the freedom to follow your own schedule and whims without having to compromise or consult with anyone else. As you implement these strategies, it's important to stay connected with your emotions. Embracing solitude doesn't mean never feeling lonely. There will likely be times when feelings of loneliness or sadness arise. When this happens, resist the urge to immediately distract yourself or seek out company. Instead, try to sit with these feelings, acknowledging them without judgment. You might find it helpful to dialogue with your emotions. Ask your loneliness what it's trying to tell you. Is there a need that's not being met? Is there a fear underlying the feeling? Often, by giving these emotions space and attention, you'll find they pass more quickly than if you try to push them away. Another powerful strategy for embracing solitude is to practice self-compassion actively. This goes beyond just being kind to yourself. It involves treating yourself as you would a dear friend. When you make a mistake or face a setback while alone, instead of harsh self-criticism, offer yourself words of comfort and encouragement. Try this. The next time you're feeling down or struggling with being alone, place your hand on your heart. Speak to yourself gently, saying something like, "This is a moment of suffering." Suffering is a part of life. May I be kind to myself in this moment. This simple act of self-compassion can be incredibly soothing and can help you navigate difficult emotions when you're on your own. As you become more comfortable with solitude, you might want to explore practices that deepen your self-understanding. Journaling can be a powerful tool for this. Set aside time regularly to write freely about your thoughts, feelings, and experiences. Don't worry about grammar or structure. This is for your eyes only. The act of putting your inner world onto paper can provide clarity and insight, helping you process emotions and track your personal growth over time. Another practice to consider is creating a vision board for your life. This involves collecting images and words that represent your goals, values, and the life you want to create for yourself. This visual representation of your aspirations can serve as a powerful reminder of your purpose and potential, especially during moments when being alone feels challenging. It's also worth exploring how technology can support your journey of embracing solitude. While it's important not to use technology as a way to avoid being alone with your thoughts, certain apps and online resources can enhance your solo experiences. For example, meditation apps can guide you through mindfulness practices. Learning platforms can support your personal growth goals. And journaling apps can provide prompts and structure for self-reflection. However, be mindful of the fine line between using technology to support your growth and using it to avoid true solitude. Set boundaries around your technology use, ensuring you also have periods of genuine quiet and disconnection. As you implement these strategies, pay attention to how your relationship with solitude evolves. You might notice that you start to look forward to your alone time, seeing it as an opportunity for rest, reflection, and personal growth. You might find yourself feeling more centered and confident, less swayed by the opinions or presence of others. This growing comfort with solitude often translates into stronger, healthier relationships when you do choose to spend time with others. When you're no longer approaching relationships from a place of need or fear of being alone, you're free to engage more authentically and set clearer boundaries. Remember, embracing solitude is not about becoming a hermit or cutting yourself off from others. It's about finding a balance where you're equally comfortable alone or in company. It's about building such a rich, fulfilling relationship with yourself that time alone becomes a choice you happily make, not a state you endure. As you continue on this journey, be patient with yourself. Like any skill, learning to embrace and enjoy solitude takes time and practice. There may be days when being alone feels effortless and joyful, and others when it feels challenging. This is normal and doesn't negate your progress. Celebrate your victories, no matter how small they might seem. Did you enjoy a meal alone without reaching for your phone? Did you spend an evening engrossed in a hobby instead of frantically texting friends? These are significant steps on your path to embracing solitude. It's also important to regularly reassess and adjust your strategies. As you grow and change, what you need to feel fulfilled in your solitude may shift. Stay curious and open to trying new approaches. If something isn't working for you, don't force it. There's no one-size-fits-all approach to embracing solitude. The key is to find what resonates with you and supports your personal growth. One often overlooked aspect of embracing solitude is learning to be still. In our busy, noisy world, we're rarely truly quiet. Even when alone, many of us fill the silence with music, podcasts, or the hum of the TV. While these can be enjoyable, it's also valuable to practice periods of genuine silence. Start small, perhaps just 5 minutes of sitting in silence. Notice the thoughts that arise. Notice the urge to reach for a distraction. Can you sit with this discomfort? Can you find peace in the quiet? Over time, you might find that these moments of stillness become treasured oases in your day, opportunities to reset and reconnect with yourself. Another powerful practice is to cultivate wonder and curiosity in your everyday life. When you're alone, it's easy to fall into routine and autopilot. Challenge yourself to approach your surroundings with fresh eyes. Notice the play of light on your walls as the day progresses. Really taste and savor your food. Feel the different textures of objects around you. This mindful engagement with your environment can turn ordinary moments into rich, fulfilling experiences even when you're on your own. As you become more adept at embracing solitude, you might want to consider taking on a long-term solo project. This could be writing a book, learning a new language, mastering a musical instrument, or any other substantial undertaking that requires sustained, independent effort. Such projects not only provide a sense of purpose and accomplishment, but also reinforce your capacity for self-motivation and resilience. Remember, the strategies we've explored are not about filling every moment of your alone time with activity. It's equally important to learn to be comfortable doing nothing. Can you sit on a park bench and simply observe the world around you? Can you lie in bed for an extra few minutes in the morning, just breathing and being? These moments of non-doing are valuable opportunities for rest, integration, and simply experiencing the joy of being alive. As we near the end of our exploration of practical strategies, it's worth reflecting on how far you've come. Think back to how you felt about solitude at the beginning of this journey. Notice the shifts in your perspective, the growth in your self-awareness, the increasing moments of peace and contentment you find in your own company. This journey of embracing solitude is ongoing. Each day brings new opportunities to deepen your relationship with yourself, to find joy and meaning in your alone time. As you continue to practice these strategies, you're not just learning to be comfortable alone, you're cultivating a profound sense of self-reliance, inner peace, and personal freedom. Remember, the ultimate goal is not to prefer solitude over company, but to be equally at ease in both states, to reach a place where your happiness and sense of self are so deeply rooted within you that they remain steady regardless of whether you're surrounded by others or enjoying your own company. As we move towards the conclusion of our journey, carry with you the understanding that you are whole and complete just as you are. Your worth is not determined by your relationship status or the size of your social circle. By learning to embrace solitude, you're claiming your independence and opening yourself up to a world of possibilities. You're creating a life that's rich and fulfilling, shaped by your authentic desires and values. In our final section, we'll reflect on how to integrate these lessons into your daily life for the long term, ensuring that the peace and joy you found in solitude become lasting fixtures in your life. You've done the hard work of facing your fears, challenging your beliefs, and developing new skills. Now, it's time to solidify these changes and step confidently into a future where you're truly at home with yourself, no matter the circumstances. As we arrive at the culmination of our exploration into embracing solitude and finding happiness alone, it's time to reflect on the transformative journey you've undertaken. You faced your fears, challenged long-held beliefs, and developed a new relationship with yourself and with the concept of being alone. Now the question becomes, how do you take these insights and strategies and weave them into the fabric of your daily life? Thriving in your own company isn't a destination you reach once and then remain there effortlessly. It's an ongoing practice, a way of living that requires consistent effort and attention. But with each passing day, as you continue to nurture your relationship with yourself, you'll find that this way of being becomes more natural, more ingrained in who you are. Think back to where you started. Perhaps the thought of spending time alone filled you with dread or anxiety. Maybe you constantly sought the company of others, afraid of what you might find if you were left with just your own thoughts. Now, consider where you are. You've developed tools to not just tolerate solitude, but to find genuine joy and fulfillment in it. You've discovered aspects of yourself that were previously hidden, overshadowed by the noise of constant social interaction or the need for external validation. This growth is something to be celebrated. Take a moment to acknowledge how far you've come. This journey hasn't been easy. It's required courage to face your fears, resilience to push through moments of discomfort, and a willingness to challenge societal norms that often equate being alone with being lonely or unlovable. You've done the hard work and you're reaping the rewards. But the journey doesn't end here. In fact, in many ways, this is just the beginning. You're now equipped with the knowledge and tools to continue flourishing on your own, to keep deepening your relationship with yourself, and to approach life, both your solo moments and your interactions with others, from a place of wholeness and self-assurance. So how do you maintain and build upon the progress you've made? First and foremost, make self-reflection a regular part of your routine. Set aside time each day, even if it's just a few minutes, to check in with yourself. How are you feeling? What do you need? What have you learned about yourself today? This ongoing dialogue with your inner self helps maintain the connection you've worked so hard to establish. Continue to prioritize the solo activities that bring you joy and fulfillment. Whether it's your creative pursuits, physical exercise, learning new skills, or simply enjoying moments of quiet contemplation, make these activities non-negotiable parts of your schedule. Remember, these aren't indulgences or distractions. They're vital components of your self-care and personal growth. As you move forward, you may find that your social life begins to shift. This is natural and nothing to be afraid of. As you become more comfortable with yourself and less dependent on others for your happiness, you might become more selective about how and with whom you spend your time. You might find that you prefer deeper, more meaningful interactions over constant social engagements. This isn't about becoming antisocial, it's about choosing quality over quantity in your relationships. You may also notice that the nature of your relationships changes. When you approach interactions from a place of self-assurance rather than need, you're likely to form healthier, more balanced connections. You'll be better equipped to set and maintain boundaries, to express your needs clearly, and to engage authentically without fear of judgment or abandonment. Remember, thriving in your own company doesn't mean you never experience moments of loneliness or never desire companionship. These are natural human experiences. The difference now is that you have the tools to navigate these feelings without being overwhelmed by them. You understand that moments of loneliness don't define you, and that you have the power to find fulfillment and joy within yourself. As you continue on this path, be prepared for challenges. There will likely be times when old habits or fears resurface. You might find yourself slipping back into patterns of seeking constant distraction or external validation. When this happens, and it's when, not if, treat yourself with compassion. Recognize these moments not as failures, but as opportunities for growth and recommitment to your journey. In these challenging moments, return to the practices that have served you well. Perhaps it's a mindfulness exercise, a solo activity you enjoy, or simply taking a few deep breaths and reminding yourself of how far you've come. The key is not to berate yourself for the setback, but to gently guide yourself back to the path of self-reliance and inner peace. As you become more comfortable in your solitude, you may find yourself naturally inspiring others. Friends or family members might notice the change in you, the increased confidence, the sense of peace, the joy you find in your own company. They might ask you about your secret. This is an opportunity to share your journey, to help others understand that being alone doesn't have to equal loneliness, that there's immense power and freedom in learning to be happy on your own. But remember, everyone's journey is unique. What worked for you might not work for someone else. Share your experiences and insights, but avoid preaching or pushing your way onto others. Your journey is a personal one, and so is theirs. Looking ahead, continue to set goals for yourself, not just in terms of what you want to achieve, but who you want to become. How can you keep growing, learning, and evolving? What aspects of yourself do you want to explore further? What new experiences do you want to have on your own? Setting these intentions helps maintain your momentum and ensures that your journey of self-discovery and growth continues. It's also important to regularly celebrate your progress. Take time to acknowledge the small victories, the peaceful solo dinner, the weekend alone that left you feeling refreshed rather than lonely, the moment you chose to sit with a difficult emotion rather than seeking distraction. These moments are testaments to your growth and resilience. As you move forward, remember that embracing solitude and finding happiness alone isn't about isolating yourself or shunning relationships. It's about creating a strong foundation of self-love and self-reliance that allows you to engage with the world from a place of wholeness. It's about having the freedom to choose, to spend time alone or with others based on genuine desire rather than fear or need. You've learned that true happiness comes from within, that you have the power to create a rich, fulfilling life on your own terms. You've discovered the joy of your own company, the peace that comes from truly knowing and accepting yourself. This is a precious gift, one that will serve you well throughout your life. As we conclude this journey together, take a moment to envision your future self. The person who has fully integrated these lessons, who moves through the world with confidence and inner peace, who finds joy in solitude and authenticity in connections. This version of you isn't a distant dream. It's already within you, emerging more fully with each passing day. Remember, the path you've embarked on isn't about reaching a final destination. It's about embracing the journey itself, about continually growing, learning, and evolving. It's about waking up each day with a sense of curiosity about yourself and the world around you, whether you're spending that day alone or in the company of others. You've done the hard work of facing your fears, challenging your beliefs, and developing new skills. You've learned to find comfort, joy, and fulfillment in your own company. Now, as you step forward into the next chapter of your life, carry these lessons with you. Let them inform your choices, guide your actions, and shape your relationships with yourself and with others. The journey of self-discovery and personal growth never truly ends. There will always be new depths to explore, new challenges to face, new joys to uncover. But now, you have the tools, the confidence, and the self-awareness to navigate whatever comes your way. So go forth with courage and optimism. Embrace your solitude. Cherish your alone time. Continue to nurture your relationship with yourself. And remember, No matter where you are or who you're with, you carry within you the power to create your own happiness, to find peace in your own company, to live a life that's truly authentic and fulfilling. You've learned to let go of the fear of being alone. You've discovered the beauty and potential of solitude. Now, it's time to fully embrace this new way of being, to continue growing, learning, and thriving in your relationships, in your pursuits, and most importantly, in your own wonderful company. The world is waiting for the authentic, self-assured you. Step into it with confidence, knowing that wherever you go, whatever you face, you have the most important relationship of all, the one with yourself.